So let's begin the conversation. After weeks of stench, silence, and sealed gates, the Lagos State government has finally reopened the Oko-Oba Abattoir, but only after it was scrubbed back to sanity and met with strict sanitation standards. The abattoir was shut down last month due to poor hygiene practices, environmental violations, and mounting public health concerns. Following a series of inspections by environmental health officers, sanitation experts, and government task force officials, the facility has now been cleared to resume operations. Officials confirmed that significant improvements were made, including proper waste disposal systems, fumigation of the premises, and mandatory health training for all workers. I mean, Majid, let's begin this way. Maybe just to refresh our memory, what were the specific sanitation violations that led to the closure? And do you think there are enough reasons, the reasons for the closure have been addressed, before it was considered for reopening?
I've been to that abattoir several times, and the one at Kara. But this particular one at that abattoir in at Oko-Oba Abattoir, it's an eyesore. And it was a disaster waiting to happen in terms of health hazards. And while the two main reasons why the place was shut down, they were discharging animal feces and waste right into the public canals, drains. That's number one. Number two, they were sleeping with animals, as in sleeping very close to.
Yes.
I don't mean.
I understand.
I mean, animals. I mean, they were sleeping where animals were supposed to be laying. I mean, you can imagine. So, for them, they might be used to it. But if they come in contact of people in town or those who go there, I mean, innocently to interact with a marketer to purchase, to transact business, they can easily, you can see on the screen how they were sleeping. So it's cow dung and what have you,
everything, blood, everything,
everywhere. So unhygienic and very dirty environment. But I think reason has prevailed after our very vibrant,
I like that part.
Commissioner for
he's my favorite
for the environment.
Tokunbo Wahab.
I mean,
yes, very vibrant.
It went there and it was like, this can't happen. But today we thank God. Like I said, reason has prevailed.
Yes.
I've seen a video of how clean and neat the place is now. And in fact, the leaders of the abattoir apologized to the state government and promised that kind of dirty environment and discharging of waste into this thing will never happen again.
I mean, Asuko, should it take a shutdown before something as basic as hygiene standards are enforced? In a place as critical as an abattoir, should it take until when it's shut down? That's when the right thing can only be done?
Because most times that is the only language that most Nigerians understand.
But it shouldn't be.
Yeah, yes, you shouldn't. That is the normal thing.
Exactly.
You understand? But it took the intervention of the Lagos State government for this to happen, for people to know that they have to keep where food, because if meat is food.
Yeah, exactly.
Where food, is being processed, has to be clean. Because look at all the things the reasons that we are giving. Animal waste being dumped into the canal and drainage, and then the human beings sleeping in pens where cows are being kept. It doesn't look good, and it doesn't even. It's not something people should hear.
True.
So it's good enough that the the leaders of the market have decided that henceforth they will keep that place clean. I saw a video of how the place is right now. And then even the ministry has also said that every month they'll be going there to check.
I mean, surprise inspection.
Yes, go there and check if they are keeping to these standards and these rules and regulations. Because we cannot play with our lives anymore. That is where most of the meat that we are eating comes from. You know? So if that is where we are eating, getting meat, and the place is unhygienic, then there's a very, very big problem.
A very big problem.
I want to thank the commissioner for doing this, for taking it up. You know, because if not, we have just left it and say, okay, fine. At some point, if you remember, some people were trying to bring in ethnic coloration into it.
Exactly.
You know, for something that is as basic as just keeping your environment clean, you know, and not just keeping, but making sure that the environment is clean every time.
Maintaining basic health standards.
I think we must also note that before it was shut down, the ministry under Oko-Oba, they had written several letters to them. They have gone there to warn them, to caution them that you need to improve on the hygiene of it. At a point of time, they chased environmental officials away from the place. So it had to take force for them to shut it down, and now before they now complied.
Now, another thing is the abattoirs in Lagos. Can we say that they also have the same standard, not just Oko-Oba that they shut down? Can we say that there is this even standard when it comes to hygiene level across all abattoirs in Lagos?
It's because we are talking about Oko-Oba today.
Yes.
The one at Kara and some other places is the same thing. So, if I ask, the one at Kara, they discharge straight into that Ogun River that flows into Opik and other places. They discharge straight there.
I think enforcement should be even.
Of course.
Enforcement should be even.
But then, that of Kara now, I don't know whether it's under Lagos or Ogun State. Because it's neither here nor there. Whether
it's in between.
It's in between. So
then this is where the Ogun State government really needs to do something.
That is so. So the authorities of both Lagos and Ogun should see to a hygienic abattoir at Kara Market, not just at Oko-Oba. I mean, kudos to the Ministry of the Environment for doing a human job there. But then, rather than wait for a monthly stuff, I think they should even have sanitary officials or environmental officials stationed right there.
Right there.
Right there.
Okay, not just going there every Thursday.
To monitor whether they should have a post in that place. They should have like a mini station, like you have mini police or mini banks in that. If the volume of transaction that goes on in that place will wow you.
I know.
So we need to put to have a closer monitoring of what goes on in that abattoir.
All right, just on a final note, if going forward and something like this happens again, are we just saying just shut down or tougher punishment?
No, I think the people there, the operators now understand the language of the government.
It's no longer business as usual.
Exactly.
Once you violate our regulations, we'll shut you down, you know, because you can't begin to pick anybody. It is going to be total. It's total shutdown. Not that we'll say, Section A, you didn't clean. So it is left for the leaders of the markets now to ensure that every section in the market is kept clean.